What's going on, guys? We're back out here on the Bel Air again this week. If you're new around here, I just picked this up 2 weeks ago, and we're just trying to keep the ball rolling on it. It is a 54 Bel Air. It's been LS swapped. I've kind of taken it all apart to do things different. The last video, I went ahead and cleaned up the engine bay, and we got the stuff painted that I wanted painted. I wanted to leave the firewall, that way you still have the patina look, because obviously this thing has killer patina on it, and we are going to preserve every bit of it that we can. But this week, at minimum, I would like to get this motor back in, which that's an hour job, if that. And over here, I have a rear end. That also needs to go in the car because this still has the factory rear end in it, and it's not going to work. Well, I mean, it could be made to work, but it's the drive shaft's enclosed in a tube, and we're just going to eliminate that. This is supposedly a 76 or 73 Nova rear end. Supposedly it's a 373 Posi. We'll find out the hard way. Either way, it's going in the car. If it needs gears later, we'll change gears later. But first things first, we're going to get this back in the car. If you watched the last video, we got to figure out the crossmember stuff. He just welded the stock one back in there and didn't make it fit the transmission. No big deal. So we're gonna figure that out. I'm probably just going to eliminate the stock crossmember altogether and make my own. It's usually easier that way, just to start over instead of trying to cut that up and make this and that work, yada yada yada. But we'll get the motor in, and then I would like to get the rear end in and mounted. That way we can measure for a drive shaft, and we can get that on order and just keep the ball rolling on everything. So if we get more than that done, we get more than that done, but we should be able to. We'll find out. Regardless, let's get this motor back in here and just start mocking stuff up and figuring stuff out, and we'll get this crossmember figured out. Man, it is crazy the curveballs that life will throw at you. It is now Wednesday, the day before this video goes out. The last clip was last Friday, the day after the last video went out. Life and work. Either way, the motor's back in, and it's up on jack stands, and I have not been able to touch this car since. But I'm going to do all I can today, and maybe I'll even call off work tomorrow to get you guys a video, but regardless, we're going to get a video out. We just might not get that much done, but I want to keep the ball rolling, I want to keep the videos consistent, so we're going to do what we can. Like I said, on jack stands, motor's back in, just sitting there. The bolts are just slid into the mounts. Like I said, just sitting there. I got some steel sitting around, and we're going to figure out this transmission crossmember and the mount. I picked up today a new mount. Hopefully this fits. And we're just going to make something work that's obviously not what's in there now. But first things first, we're going to hop under there, and I've got to cut out the stock one because it was welded in the car. But let's get underneath there and knock that out. Okay, so here's what we're dealing with. This is the factory crossmember, and like I said, it was welded in. It's not really welded in very well, but we're going to have to cut this out. It's actually in here backwards, and like I said, there was no transmission mount made. It's just sitting on here. So we're going to start over, cut this out, and the stock crossmember, if you look here, there's bolts, and it actually went to these flange on the side of the frame here. And I'd like to just go ahead and remake the new one the same way to where it uses that, because if not, this frame is not, what do you call it? It's not a C channel, it's a full box. So we're going to utilize these lips here and work with that. So got a jack under it, it's holding the weight. Let's cut these off here. Well, that didn't take much. Will this just snap off over there? I might have to go cut it. Anyways, I'll go cut that off camera real quick, and then I'll show you the steel I got and what my plan is for making this all work. Alright, so stock crossmember. I do apologize. It did have a mount on here, but it wouldn't have worked regardless. These are 4 3/4 center line, and the trans is 3 3/4. But regardless, stock cross member, and this is what I was talking about, how it was bolted. The frame rail would have went here, obviously, and then these just bolted through the flange on the side of the frame. So we're going to recreate this, just not this. What I got some tubing here. It's 1.5 inch by, I think, 3 inch. It's 1/4 inch thick. That should be more than plenty. And then back to leaning against the wall, I have some flat plate. So my plan is to cut some of the flat plate and make plates that go on the bottom of the frame and have this bolt pattern on it. Well, probably not that exact bolt pattern. I'll probably just use 4 bolts, 2 on the inside, 2 on the outside, same on the other side, and then we'll take this tubing and run it from one side to the other. That way it's removable, because I don't want the crossmember to not be removable if something happens on the side of the road. Because like I said, I believe in the last video, I want to take this on Power Tour just as well as the Catalina. Hopefully they can both go next year, but we'll see how that goes. But regardless, I need to do some measuring. Oh yeah, and I found underneath my welder this little chunk of metal here, and here's the trans mount. The hole in this is perfect, so I'm just going to cut this to match this other side, that perfect width, and then we'll just take this little chunk, go out to the cross member, and boom, we'll have ourselves a trans mount. In theory. Now we still have to figure out the height. Who knows if this piece of metal will be able to land perfectly on the side of this and be able to weld to it. We might have to do some figuring on that, but shouldn't be too hard. We made a cross member for the Catalina. We can make one for this as well. But I'm gonna go underneath there, do some measuring, some figuring, and I'll let you know what I figure out. Okay, since it's so hard to film under the car, I figured I could give you a little drawing diagram and explain what my plan is with all this stuff. Here, don't laugh too hard. I know it looks like a 2-year-old drew this, but I did my best. This here is a frame rail, this here is a frame rail. Our frame rails are 4 inches wide, and they're 45 inches wide. So I'm gonna cut 2 plates, one there and one there. This is obviously the cross member here. If you can't see that, I'm sorry, I did my best. But we're gonna cut 2 plates that are 4 inches by 6 inches, because that's how thick that plate is. And they get 4 holes that'll go through that small flange that's on the edge. We're gonna go straight across with the tubing, and then this is that little piece of angle that I was talking about that has that perfect hole in it. Yeah, I don't see why this shouldn't work. So cue the montage of cutting all the steel to make this plan happen, and go. Alright, so we got our 2 plates here for the frame. They still need the holes drilled in them, but I don't want to do that just yet. That's the little piece that I was making to go on there. Looks great. And then we got our piece of tubing there. So I'm going to get all of this stuff and kind of balance it very precariously on the jack and just get it up there. And then I'm going to go through and I'll tack the plates to the tube, yada yada yada. Then I'll make sure where to put the holes on these. That way I don't drill the holes in the wrong spot, yada yada yada. Hopefully this little piece of angle is enough to reach the tube once it's under there, but we'll find out, because we do need to make sure that the engine is at the right angle. So I'm going to try to balance all this on the jack, and yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it mostly mocked up here. Like I was saying, the plates, they just go on the bottom of the frame, and then we'll be able to drill holes through here. Yes, this tube is not centered. This is quite the feat by yourself, but regardless, I figured out all the measurements. These plates are where they're gonna be. I just need to mark them out for the holes. I can get my measurements now for all that's gonna be. And then as far as the oh, what do you call it? The little tab for the transmission mount. The trans still needs to come down, so I think it's going to line up perfectly. So that's going to be nice. But I'm not going to weld that in until I want to get this all drilled, bolted, this welded to the plates, and then have this stationary. That way we can set the car back on the ground and level the car. Then we'll set the angle of the motor, and then we'll weld that, because obviously the front mounts aren't going to change because they've already been welded in. But probably going to level the car off of this trim line here. I want the car to sit level in the end. So yeah, I'm going to get these holes drilled, laying on my back. That's going to suck. One of these days I'll have a lift. Probably not. Yeah, drill the holes, get that tube centered up after the plates can hold themselves up there, and then we'll set this thing back down, level it, weld it, and that part will be done. Then we'll jump on to trying to change this rear end out if we've got time. Probably not have time for that either, but we'll figure it out. Alright, everything is as centered and lined up as I can get it, so we're going to go ahead and tack the tube to the plate, then we'll take it out, and then we'll drill some holes. So first things first, we need 4 tacks right here. Just like that. Now let's drop this out of here and weld it up. Then we'll put it back, drill some holes. And then it should just fall out of there. Get this clamp over here. We'll let that jack down. And just like that. Alright, let's weld this up. Alright, that's all welded, but I've had a major change of plans with this entire car. I have been fighting putting an LS in this car since I got it. I don't believe it deserves an LS. Well, not that it doesn't deserve the LS. I don't want the LS in the car. I feel that it is way overdone, yada, yada, yada. I'd rather have a small block Chevy in here. Not that this isn't a small block Chevy, but you guys know what I mean. I took all the fuel injection off of this. I went through the trouble. I picked up in this box here is a carbureted intake that I was going to put on here, and I have a Holley Sniper kit so I could keep it fuel injected but still have the carbureted look, put the air cleaner on it. I've just been fighting leaving this motor in this car. So it's not going to stay in this car. I know we just did all this work to make the headers fit. I just made this cross member, but I had a friend just stop by in between the last clip and now. He actually has his own YouTube channel. It's called Hot Rods and Dad Bods. You guys should go check him out. He is way funnier than I'll ever be. I'll throw a little picture up of his channel. But definitely go check him out. He just started. We all just talked him into it. He has one video up now, I think. But he is constantly making new ones, and he will be posting regularly. So go check him out. Give him a follow, all that. But anyways, he had stopped over, and we was talking. And he has a Nova that he's working on right now, which you guys will get to see. I think it's his next video coming up. Maybe. Don't quote me on it. But he has a Nova he's been working on, and he doesn't do small blocks. He is a LS guy. Not that I'm not an LS guy. But his car has a small block in it, and he would rather it have an LS. So we've been working on a deal. So this 6.0 and 4L80 is getting out of here. Yes, it would be cool to have fuel injection, all this. You guys can preach all you want. This is going to get an old school small block Chevy. That motor has a trans on it. It runs. I heard it run. We're going to make a deal on it. So we're just going to take this out and start over. Once again, the car will be done the way I wanted it to be done originally. My problem with the LS is they just look too new. And this car and me and the oldness, I don't know. I'm just not about it. So we're going to change it. And maybe the stock crossmember will work then. But either way, we're going to hold off on finishing this crossmember the rest of the way until we get that motor and trans in the car. And on the plus side, he's already cleaned that motor and trans up and painted it. So all we got to do is slide it in here and it'll look fine. So hopefully the mounts will kind of play out. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to figure that out in the next video. But once again, I do also apologize again for this video. It is going to be short and there is nothing I can do about it. I am just completely out of time, and actually it's going to get uploaded late. It'll still be Thursday, but I do apologize. It won't happen again. I'll take more time off work if I have to. But regardless, yeah, huge change of plans. I apologize for the terrible video, but I am completely out of time this week. It's going to be an extremely short video. It probably won't even make it past 10 minutes. If it does, I'll be surprised. But yeah, I'm going to start the next video after I get this all uploaded and everything, edited and everything. Tomorrow I'm going to start the next video. We're just going to pull this out, and we'll make the small block Chevy fit in here. And yeah, basically just start over again. But it'll be what I want. I'll be happy. He'll be happy. Everybody will be happy. So once again, I do apologize for the short video, and I will be more on top of it next time. But that is unfortunately going to do it for this week. Hopefully you guys come back next week. I'm sorry for the short one. Sorry that it isn't uploaded on time, but I just ran out of time. But anyways, I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.